This is my new wok. I'm really excited about it. Today I'm going to cook some Spam and egg fried rice, but I'll just tell you real quick about this wok. You might have seen it blurred out in the background of some of my videos in the past. It's a product I've been working on for the past year, sort of refining the shape and the feel and the look of it, working on it with the folks at Our Place. What's special about this wok is that it is a carbon steel wok. However, if you look at the inside and you see how sort of nice and shiny, smooth that is, this wok has been used quite a few times. There's a treatment on this called super nitride. So there is regular nitriding treatment. This super nitride treatment creates a nitride layer that's thicker, about twice as thick as a normal nitride treatment layer. So it handles and behaves exactly like a carbon steel wok. However, it has a really slick sort of non-stick surface that doesn't scratch out and is non-toxic. Anyway, today we're gonna make some Spam and egg fried rice. I'm gonna start by schlooping some Spam out of a can. You know, this summer I was, come on, schloop out. This summer I was, there we go. I was cooking on this river rafting trip, part of the Moab Music Festival, and one of the dishes I cooked on that trip, I brought my wok with me in a portable wok burner, and one of the dishes I cooked on that trip was like a stir-fried teriyaki Spam hash for one of the breakfasts. And it was really delicious, but anyway, I bought a case of Spam, like 36 cans of it, to do recipe testing before that trip. So the point being, I have a lot of Spam in my closet right now. My inbox is clogged with Spam. I'm gonna dice this up. Spam, you know, it gets a sort of bad rap, I think, or it gets made fun of, but I really like it. You know, it lasts forever. It's salty. It's well seasoned. It's not even like a cheap ingredient anymore, to be honest. Like, I was surprised at how much a case of Spam costs these days. When I was little, I thought it was like, you know, a couple bucks for a can, maybe $1 a can. But now I think if you go to the supermarket and buy a big can of Spam, it's like $7 to $10, at least in the Seattle area. But it is delicious. Spam musubi, yum. The ingredients here are really, really simple. I'm kind of keeping it simple intentionally because what I really want is the wok hei flavor, you know, the smokiness of the wok to come through in the final dish as sort of like the main, what I would think of as the main seasoning element here. All right, I'm gonna pull out a portable butane burner here. You can do this on induction as well. The wok is carbon steel, so it heats on induction, but I'm gonna use this portable butane burner. You know, in my book, The Wok, I talked a lot about wok materials and what materials are best and why I prefer carbon steel because, well, because it's thin and responsive, because it doesn't spread out heat too quickly the way, say, aluminum does or like a clad pan. The heat tends to stay concentrated where the flame is, and which is what you want in a wok. You want the bottom area to be sort of like your super hot zone, and then for it to get progressively cooler as it goes up the edges, and carbon steel does that really well. And compared to cast iron, it heats up faster, cools down faster, and it's also much lighter. You know, cast iron, if you made it this thin, would crack. Carbon steel doesn't. The only downside of carbon steel that there ever has been is that it takes a bit of care. You know, you have to season it, you have to maintain that seasoning. If you accidentally leave it wet overnight, for example, it'll start to rust. And so those are issues that I've had with carbon steel. And well, yeah, the nitride treatment on this is what prevents you from having to worry about all that. All right, so I'm gonna rub just a little bit of oil in here first. Actually, I was blabbing too much. I should have done that while the wok was cold. But the idea is that you rub in the oil first, and that becomes sort of like your indicator of when it's hot enough. So when it's smoking like this, it's definitely hot enough. So we're gonna go in with the rest of our oil. And then I'm gonna immediately get my scrambled eggs in there. So you can see how nice and non-stick that is. The eggs just really glide around there. All right, let's get those eggs out. And I'm gonna go right in with my Spam. That's probably a little bit too much Spam. Let's go with half the Spam. You know, Spam has quite a bit of fat in it. We're gonna kind of let it render out and crisp up a little bit. Actually, these eggs I'm gonna put straight in with the rice. The rice I have over here is day-old rice. So I cooked it yesterday, and then all I did was spread it out on a sheet tray and throw it in the fridge overnight so that it dries out, you know. You want your rice to be able to kind of crumble and break apart into pieces like that. You can do it with fresh rice as well, but dry day-old rice is easier. If you've read my wok book or seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I had a wok that I picked up, I think, from a Target when I was like 19 years old. And I had that same wok. It was a carbon steel wok, very similar in shape and size to this one, slightly different contours. I don't remember the brand, but I had picked it up from Target, and I used that same exact wok for 20 years because there really is nothing better for wok cooking than a carbon steel wok. Unfortunately, just as my wok book came out, the handle, the rivets on the handle of that wok fell off, and so the wok became unusable. So since then I've been using, well, a variety of different woks, because really my goal was to work on my own. But I've been using a variety of different woks, and I'm glad that I finally have a new wok that I can keep for the next 20 years. Maybe give to my kids. All right, so we got some nice brown crisping going on there. And finally, I'm gonna add in some chopped scallions. Give that a toss, get the aroma out, and then we'll go in with our rice and our eggs. A little bit more oil. So one of the nice things about carbon steel also is that it's part of sort of what gives a wok that wok hay flavor. Like, you cannot get wok hay, that kind of smokiness, out of a actual nonstick, you know, like a coated nonstick pan. First of all, it doesn't get hot enough, but some of it is the flavor of sort of that, of the metal itself, the metal, the food contact with the metal. So if you have that kind of plastic layer of nonstick in between, you don't develop it. This wok, you can get it, you know, you can get it to 900 degrees, 1,000 degrees. Plenty of heat for searing, and you're going to develop plenty of that wok hay. All right, final seasoning. I got a little bit of white pepper. I got some salt and MSG blend. And then just the tiniest little drizzle of soy sauce. And when I go in with the soy sauce, you'll see I'm going to drizzle it around the sides here because I want it to sort of superheat as soon as it hits the pan. I don't want it to soak into the rice where it'll just kind of steam away. I kind of want it to scorch because that's also going to contribute to that wok hay flavor. One little taste for seasoning. Now, we'll see how easily this slides out of here. Look at that. All right, clean up on the wok, by the way. You do it just the way you would any carbon steel pan. So I'm just gonna rinse it out, wipe out the oil, then get it on the burner and heat it up. And we'll heat it to dry it out. With the supernitride coating, you don't need to be as careful about drying it out as with cast iron, but it still helps with maintain the seasoning that way. All right, so this is Spam and egg fried rice. Very, very simple. It's just fried eggs, fried Spam, scallions, rice, day-old rice, white pepper, salt, MSG, a little splash of soy sauce, and then everything else is just wok hay, you know, the flavor of that high heat cooking in a wok. All right, I'm very excited about my new pan. More excited, I think, than I've been about anything so far because, I mean, I literally wrote a book on woks, and this is sort of a dream pan of mine, and it's come out better than I could have possibly imagined. All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals, See you later.